Welcome back for the geography lesson. For the last 2 weeks, we haven't touched geography. So, let's start with the basics of geography. That how do we see the world? There are two ways. The most common one is the map, but sometimes the globes are available too. So this is how a map looks like, and we can observe it through the globes also, as we can see this figure. So there are two important aspects in the map and globe. Like as you can see in the figure, that there there is a portion for land, and there are portions of water. So land continents are large pieces of land. There are six separate pieces of land in the map. However, we have seven continents. We have one continent in we have separate one continent into two, Asia and Europe. So this is so the main of the lecture starts from here. This is how a map looks like, and as you can see, there are some lines here, like a grid. So these lines are mentioned. Some of the lines are mentioned with Equator, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, and there are some lines in the vertical direction also. So let's see what these lines represent. We have already discussed about the continents and oceans. So can maps tell more information? Yes, because as I have told you that there are imaginary lines in the Earth's surface. These are called latitude and the longitude. So there are three types. Uh, in this lecture, I'm just going to cover the basics, and the next lecture, I will tell you some more details about some other lines. But today, we will limit the lecture to Equator, Tropic of Cancer, and Tropic of Capricorn. So, this in these two figures show a sketch of a globe, and as you can see in this figure on the right side, the longitudinal lines are shown, and in this figure on the left side, the latitude lines are shown. So these imaginary lines either run horizontally or they run vertically. So latitude lines run horizontally from east to west. Um, if you want to label this globe, the top of the globe would be north, the bottom would be south, the east would be on the right side, and south would be on the left. So latitude lines run horizontally from east to west. So basically, the direction of these lines is from east, it is on the right side to the left side, that is west. So longitude lines run vertically, north from south. So these are longitudinal lines as shown on the right side of this slide. So there are degrees appointed to the lines, starting from the middle of the globe, the horizontal line. For now, we will be talking just about the horizontal line, that are latitude lines. So these degrees, there are degrees appointed to the lines. The degrees are numbers that help pilots and ship captain navigate across the sky and ocean without getting lost. Even um, some of the very advanced maps and some of the advanced technology uses these numbers, latitude and longitude degrees, to a very precision to locate someone. So these numbers tell us a specific location. So the line in the middle, this one is labeled as, or is known to be 0 degree, and the poles, the angles become 90-degree south and 90-degree north. So look, if you want to locate the equator, so basically this line at the 0 degrees that runs from east to west or in the horizontal direction, the latitude line at 0 degrees is known as equator. So it the equator line, it divides the Earth into two halves, the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. This is the equator line at the 0 degrees. So if we divide the Earth on the equator line, that is this 0 degree line, so Earth would be divided into two hemispheres. So the upper portion would be known as the northern hemisphere. The lower portion is known as the southern hemisphere. So these two lines. So in these two lines are located at 23.6 degrees, 23.6 degrees to the southern and 23.6 degrees to the north. So in this region, so this region is known as the tropical region. As we can see in this figure, that the lower part of this region, the line that cuts at the 23.6 degrees to the southern side, is known as Tropic of Cancer, and the line which cuts 23.6 degrees to the northern side is known as Tropic of Cancer. So these two lines, Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, between these two lines, this area is shaded as a blue region. So in this region, this is known as a tropical region, and the importance of this region is that this region do not have any like a variety of seasons. Most of the time, the temperatures are mild, hot to very hot, and there are very less variations in the temperature, and the time duration for the day and night is almost equal. Like the time for the day would be in this region is 12 hours, and the night also remains up to 12 hours. So this is the importance of this region. There are no winters, there are no very severe temperature changes. So the temperature variation in this region are not very prominent. Most of the time, it is a very hot region, and above, as we go up the north or as we go towards the south, there are a lot of temperature variation as you have been to the North Pole. So you know that the variations in the time duration for day and night. Sometimes it remains day for the whole few months, and sometimes there is a night for several days. So at the equator or in this tropical region, there are no much variations of temperature, and there are no much temperature variations for the climate or weather. So this is the importance of this tropical region, and it is this shaded region between minus 23.6 degrees to 23.6 degrees in the north. So the equator line, it divides the Earth into two halves. This is known as the northern hemisphere, and the lower part is known as the southern hemisphere. So based on the sun's position in relation to the Earth at 2 points of the year, uh, as the Earth revolves around its own axis or spins around its own axis, these two dates, the June 21 in the summer and the December 21 in the winter, we have the longest day and the longest night. And on June 21, we have the longest winter, and in December 21, we have the longest summer day. Basically, in the upper hemisphere or on this part of the world, the northern part, so when the climate or the weather is hot in this region, would be exactly opposite in this part of the world. So if if there are summers in the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere would be having winters, and if there are winters in the northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, in southern hemisphere there will be summer. So that's it for the introduction of equator, latitude, longitude lines, and I'll we will talk in detail about the longitudinal lines in the next lecture. That as there is a 0 and 30, 60 degrees in the latitude, so same pattern is present in the longitudinal lines also. So see you in the next class.